Too close. Seriously? Now I remembered why I took a break. This is so awkward. I'm back. This is still kind of awkward for me, but I did miss doing this and putting out videos for you guys, so I hope you enjoy this one with just me this time. Just glad to be back. Now on to my experience. As you all know, I did go to KCON New York just last month, and I had the time of my life. I went with a few friends. So things, I guess, changed a little bit since last year's KCON in New York as well. I went to that one too. So one of the things that changed was this year you had to wear like a wristband. At least this was for the convention. I still have the band that I wore. I wanted to keep it intact, but unfortunately these were like handcuffs without a key to unlock them. So I still preserved it. This is the band that I got, and you can see that it's cut. And this was the actual, well, this is actually the highlight of the band. So this was actually connected to it, and this was actually used to get you into the panels. The staff, KCON, whoops, I broke it. Anyways, so KCON staff around the convention had, I think it was their cell phones or some type of device. It allowed them to check if you were a legitimate attendee. So not anyone could just go into the panels. You had to be scanned wearing this. I kept this on both days, and I even showered with it just because this part would not come off. Anyway, enough about this wristband. It's already broken. As usual, when everybody's checking in, everybody, depending on what ticket you got, wanted to check out what their fan engagements were. So if you had a guarantee, one of those lottery cards, tickets, whatever, those cards that determine whether or not you were going to be part of a fan engagement audience or high touch. With the kind of tickets that I got, I think I had P2 sitting, and I got almost everything except for high touch, and that's okay. But yeah, I got what I wanted as far as a fan engagement. I got to go to the audience fan engagement for SF9 and CNBLUE. SF9 was on that Friday, and CNBLUE was on Saturday. So I was able to go to some kind of fan engagement on both days. Now for the red carpet event, I got a guarantee on both days. First thing that happened after we got checked in and everything, got all of our cards and whatnot, the KCON app announced that SF9 was going to be making a special appearance on the convention stage on the other end of the convention. Me and my friends went running towards the convention stage. What they were doing was Fox 5 was actually interviewing the boys for like 10 or 15 minutes. So the reporter from Fox 5 over there got to learn a little bit of the dance for Easy Love by SF9. I think it was just the chorus part, and that was fine. So I think at first, if I remember correctly, they were having like technical problems, like we couldn't hear them, but it was mainly just for the report. We weren't really meant to actually hear them, because when I came back home and watched the report on social media, you could hear them quite clearly, and I guess it's because he had a mic on his shirt. So, but it's okay because we got to see them for like 15 minutes, like first thing Friday morning, which was awesome. I ain't complaining. Oh, so before I stop talking about SF9 and their appearance on the convention stage, I would just like to point out that Rowoon and Dawon kept looking in me and my friend's direction, and I have footage of that.
Wait, no, that one! Yeah! Wait, which one? Huh? Is it that one?
He's the one on the very left.
Did you see when I called him and he looked at me? I got it! Okay.
Oh, and there's more footage that I got of them just kind of standing around waiting to see what was happening with those technical difficulties, and I got a shot of Jaehyun just doing a quick hip thrust. I don't know what's going on. So after SF9's special appearance on the convention stage, it was pretty much just waiting in lines all day for the fan engagements. So at 11 on Friday it was K&K's, and a couple of my friends went to wait in line, and while they were waiting in line, I went to the other side of the convention where they had all the booths where they were selling K-pop merch and food. And then they also had, one of the new things that they did was have the, was it Amazon M2, it's like a mobile masters thing. I wasn't really sure what that was all about, but it was pretty cool. Now I don't remember if I went to go to the K-pop merch booth before or after I saw SF9. Maybe my friends that I went with could tell me. But all I know is that I blew maybe $200 or more on K-pop albums. So I've been waiting forever to get this album, but I finally got my hands on the Limitless album. I opened this. Well, my friend helped me open it, and I actually ruined this. I ripped it by mistake. But anyways, the contents of this album is pretty freaking awesome. I think I just ripped it again. Then I got Cherry Bomb. Am I holding it right? That's backwards. I got Cherry Bomb. But that's not it. So I think I got like 4 more. I got SF9's new album, Breaking Sensation. Also got their debut album, Feeling Sensation. Then I also got CNBLUE's latest album. I don't know how you say this. I'll just call it CNBLUE's 7th mini album. And then I got Day6's Fall Like Venom. This thing is amazing. I also got a couple of the official KCON merch that they had. Like the hat, I got the white one. I got a t-shirt, of course. And I got some of the postcards of the groups. I also got some stuff from the 8mm booth. And I was there when Dre was doing a meet and greet at their booth, and I didn't go in line to get my hat signed. I actually got his dreamer hat too, but I was more hungry than wanting to get a picture with them. So now we'll move on to the actual concert. So the seats that we got were pretty flippin' awesome. I had section 7, row 2, seat 11 or 12. So I was pretty much really close to the corner of the front part of the stage. So the bottom of the S. Yeah. So I was really close to that corner along with my other friend. So one of the first things that they did was announce the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. I think I said that right. They were offering a free trip to Korea to 2 lucky people. I think it was 2 people. Whoever won the little dance off that they had at the beginning of the concert. Now for opening, Jun Korean played a violin cover of Crush's Beautiful from the Goblin soundtrack, which was beautiful. to the concert. So K&K was the first to perform. Unfortunately, I wasn't there for them. I don't really know them that well. The only song that I've ever heard from them was Knock. I don't know any of their other songs. If y'all want to teach me a little bit something about K&K, you can tell me in the comments. And then it was SF9. They were the whole reason why I was there Friday. So they had their little intro. They played their newest song, Easy Love, and then they played, I don't know which one came first, but they did play their other songs, Roar and Fanfare. But in between performing, they did this little segment called, what is it? The Fortune Wheel, or Wheel of Fortune something. And on the wheel it had like challenges that they had to do. The one that they did was propose, or it was a proposal. So the people in charge of the cameras were, I think, targeting certain people in the crowd. I don't know what was their criteria, but it looked like they were just doing some random spots in the crowd. And they chose this girl who was in the middle section of the floor. So I think that was P1? I think it was P1. But that girl was lucky, and she actually had 3 of the members propose to her. It was Channy, my bias, in SF9, and then it was Rowoon and Dawan. Channy was first up to go, and he was told to do an aegyo proposal. So of course he was cute, him being the maknae. I thought he was cute at least. I don't care what anybody else says.
I wanted help.
And then Rowoon was a little bit more on the romantic side, and he serenaded to her singing Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. That was beautiful.
Wow! I can speak English well, but I just say I love you. For you, song, can
And so lastly, Dawan was the last person to propose her, and this fool wanted to kill everybody by doing both aegyo and being romantic. So he initially tried to be cute, and then he did a complete 180 and tried to be romantic and sing the same song that Rowoon did. And if I were that girl, I know Channy's my bias, but I would have picked that one. He was so funny and adorable. And then after that, that's when they played the other songs. So, yeah. And then after that, GFRIEND was performing. Now, during the last song that GFRIEND performed, I don't remember what it was, but there were some people shuffling in the row behind me to my right, and me and my friend noticed that 2 members from SF9 were standing there. We didn't know what they were doing. Okay, I lied. I know what they were doing. And that's only because before the concert even started, there were some people explaining to the attendees around us to leave this row empty for some celebrities to stand there. And I was just like, oh my god. It was SF9's Insung and Rowoon. So they were positioned in that spot to be like special MCs to introduce the next performer, which was Zion.T. God, they look so good up close. And Rowoon is so tall.
Oh my god, nobody but you. Yeah.
no exaggeration to say that you all are part.
And then sadly, they were done talking and introducing Zion.T. And then it was Zion.T who was next to perform. Then after Zion.T, SF9 actually came back. They did a special performance stage, and they performed their rendition of, I think it was EXO's Call Me Baby, and they did BTS's Boy in Love, and that was awesome. And then the highlight of the night was highlight were the last performers of the night. Now I haven't really been listening to them as highlight. Even throughout the day before the concert, I was still referring to them as Beasts because I'm still in, don't take this the wrong way, I was still in Beast mode, if y'all know what I mean. So I was a Beast fan before they became highlight. My bias from Beast was the one that left, which was Hyunsung, unfortunately. So after he left, I kind of stopped listening to them. So they performed some of their newer songs as highlights, such as Please Don't Be Sad, which I do like that song. They also played Calling You, I think that was the name of the song, and maybe another one, I don't remember. But then what was the highlight of highlights performance, in my opinion, was they played older Beast songs. So this was where I got hyped. They played Good Luck and then ended the night with Beautiful Night. Now, I lost my shit. Those were my two favorite songs by them. Good Luck is actually my favorite over Beautiful Night. And for them to play it at KCON for the last few songs is just... I really didn't think those songs were ever going to be performed ever again. since they became highlights, and I was so happy that they played those 2 songs. Thank you. So that was the end of the first night. Now, second day. We weren't really planning on getting there early like we did the previous day, only because the fan engagements that we were going to didn't really start until noontime. So the fan engagements that were happening on Saturday were Up Tension at 11, and then CNBLUE at 12:30, which was the one that I went to, and then twice at 2 p.m. So by the time we left the hotel and headed towards the convention, we were almost not going to make the CNBLUE fan engagement. But we made it, and I was happy to see CNBLUE and greet both Younghwa belated happy birthday and Minhyuk an early happy birthday.
해주실 수 있으신가요? Can you guys say anything to your New York fans in English? It could be short. It could be short. Just like I love you with a heart. I love you.
I love you.
Fighting! You can do it!
You're so cute.
Or if I could give you a hint, you could just say, I love you more.
I love you more.
Yoa, I trust you.
You guys are so gorgeous. I love you more and more. More and more and more.
Just say, I love you the most, and then do a big one.
I wanna see in our concert because we love you.
Guys, give it up for CNBLUE.
Then after CNBLUE, I think what I did, I was waiting in line for the red carpet event. I didn't really talk too much about Friday's red carpet event because it was what I expected. Crowded people, like bunching up on you, like getting too close to comfort, and yeah, I kind of expected that from the first day. But on the second day, Saturday's red carpet event was ridiculous. So they had all 4 groups come up, of course. First it was Up Tension, and then it was either Twice or NCT 127 that came up next. CNBLUE was last. So what really got under my skin was when NCT 127 came up. Now, they didn't have a fan engagement whatsoever. No, not even an audience. So that meant no high touches also. So I guess to make up for NCT not having a fan engagement, people were pushing and shoving and doing some crazy shit during the red carpet. And by crazy shit, I mean this girl with a DSLR camera which you're not even supposed to have at these events. She brought it out and started taking pictures as soon as NCT 127 came up. I didn't notice she was there. I think she was either behind me or behind me to my right a little bit, but what made me notice her was one of the people from the press, the ones who actually can have those cameras out, were in front of the barricade. And what that person did was come up, looked our way, and was actually pointing to the girl and telling her to put her camera away. Now, I think the first time around, she complied and put her camera away. But then I guess she moved to a different spot in the crowd, tried to be sneaky and bring it out again. That same person in the press found her again and then brought security on. I don't blame either the member of the press or the security guard for what happened. I blame the girl for not listening at all. And so she just ruined everybody's experience with seeing NCT 127. Especially mine. Because this was the main group I was here for KCON. But then CNBLUE came up and I guess I was happy again. Now on to concert night 2. Now the first people to come up and perform were actually the dance group that almost everybody knows about. It's 1 Million Dance Studio. So my favorite, Leah Kim, was there. Leah Kim's my girl. I would marry her if I could. After 1 Million Dance Studio, I think Twice was the first performer up. They performed a bunch of JYP classics like Miss A's Bad Girl, Good Girl. They also did, I think, Wonder Girl's Nobody, and then ended it with, I think this was one of JYP's himself, but the song Honey. Then after Twice's special stage, it was Up Tension. Again, honestly, another group that I don't know too much about. I only knew at the time their song Attention. I know they also just recently came back with a song. I think it's called Runner. So I'm gonna have to give it a listen. After Up Tension, I think NCT 127 was next. And to make up for my bad experience that I had at the red carpet while NCT 127 was up there, I took a 17-minute long video of their performance. Now I can watch those 17 minutes of awesomeness anytime I want. Now on this night of the concert, NCT 127 was the group that did the fortune wheel this time around. And I think what they did, so SF9 did the proposal. NCT 127 I think had Sing to Me? They had a singing one, I don't remember. I forgot exactly what they did. I think I was too much in a trance when they were present on stage. And I think also for whatever they were doing, they had the cameras also like targeting certain people in the crowd. I had noticed that one of the cameras was looking in my area and I was actually in a shot. I think I just lost all of my thoughts then because I thought I had a chance. But obviously I didn't, so I don't have anything to bring to the table here. But it's okay. And you want to know why it's okay? So after they did the fortune wheel and continued on with their performances, Twice was next up. And of course I was there for Twice too, but I'm not much of a girl group, fanatic. I do love Twice also, but honestly Signal was not my favorite song. But anyway, so when Twice came up and performed, I think at the last song. So in that same spot that I sat in, section 7, row 2, whatever seats I had, whatever. Again, they had the row behind me, basically the same spot, prepared for more people to come and be special MCs. And just take a guess at where I'm going with this. This was the icing on the cake, because I mentioned that my bias was Jaehyun and that Johnny was runner-up. So again, take a guess at where I'm going with this. The people that the people that stood in that area that they cleared out for the next guest MCs were, drumroll, NCT 127's 3 people: Do-young, Jaehyun, and Johnny. So I got to see these 3 up close. So yeah, I was really happy about that. So while they were introducing the next performer, I was recording a video of them talking, because anything that they do, whether it's breathe, talk, or even standing there looking pretty, which is what they did, I snapped some photos of them because my phone lets me do both at the same time. Now, it kind of sucked because Do-young and Johnny were on the ends, and I actually got a good focus on their faces rather than Jaehyun, who was in the middle, and he looked mad in all of them. But it's okay. Again, they were in my presence. Now, homegirl behind me though could not control herself and tried to reach over maybe like 3 or 4 seats from where she was sitting to say I love you to Johnny. I wanted to cut her. Just kidding. But seriously. So after they left, CNBLUE came on stage and I was happy again. So another reason why I was at KCON this year was for CNBLUE, for Younghwa Oppa, for Jonghyun Oppa, and of course for Minhyuk and Jungshin. So I love them all, which is why I got their album, and I love them! Now, I've been a boys for a while now, and what actually got me into them was Younghwa. So Younghwa was the reason why I got into CNBLUE in the first place, because of the dramas that he was in. So I first started watching K-dramas before I got into K-pop. And after that, boom, I became a boys fan. Now, I wasn't really expecting them to move around too much on the stage when they were performing, because of course they're a band. You know, the drum set, of course, Minhyuk can't walk around. Jonghyun and Jungshin can't really move around either because their guitars are connected to the amps. But Younghwa, I guess he's not playing the guitar as much as far as like performances go, and he's just mainly doing vocals. But I wasn't expecting Younghwa to be able to move around, which was freaking awesome. So as soon as Younghwa started moving around, I lost it, and I was hoping that he'd be coming up to the very front so that he could do that. Younghwa's English is getting better, and I'm falling in love with him even more. His ridiculous dancing, I'm sorry, not ridiculous, his awesome dancing is what makes him even more attractive. I just love CNBLUE so much, and I was so happy that I got to see them perform and see them all so close, especially at the ending when they were bringing all the people back on stage so that they can say their goodbyes. God, they're so handsome. But yeah, so that was the end of the second night. Overall impression of KCON New York 2017. On both the convention days, I pretty much stood in lines all day. but it makes up for the fact that I didn't get to go to any fan engagements last KCON. So I had a better experience this year, I guess, than I did last year. But waiting in line still was kind of especially in the heat. I got tan, I got a wristwatch tan, but nothing can compare to my bad experience with the red carpet event when NCT 127 came up. So for my KCON experience this year, that was the one thing that got under my skin. Everything else, I was happy. Okay, well, I don't want to make this any longer than it is already, so I will go ahead and end this. I hope you guys enjoyed me ranting about my experience at KCON this past month. I plan to have more videos out, so I hope this is a good lasting impression for the rest of the videos that will be coming on this channel. I plan to do some reactions very soon. I know there's a few videos that have came out recently that I need to get right on, so I'm gonna go and do that. So thank you for watching. Please like this video, comment down below and let me know what you guys think. If you guys went to KCON, let me know how your experience went. I'd like to know. And don't forget to subscribe. This is a new channel, so please, all the love and support would be much appreciated. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
자, 하나, 둘, 셋!
눌러줘. 눌러줘.
He wants them to touch him.
I love you.
많이 기대해주세요.
Alright, they said that they're gonna continue to release more stuff this year.